So I was riding the bus back home from work, and they were doing some construction on the train. So I decided to take the bus. I don't normally take the bus because in rush hour, the bus can take a while. Well, it did. I ended up taking the 147 down Michigan. It took a long time. There was cars everywhere. And I was standing. I stood for most of the time, actually all the time. And that's kind of the point of the story. So I'm standing there. I'm in one of those accordion buses, those giant buses. I'm right in the middle of the accordion. So I'm standing there. I'm holding on to the railing, and I'm just kind of like, listening to music and, doing my thing, standing there. My left arm is the one holding the bar. I couldn't switch over to the right because there was too many people. And my left arm was sore. For the last couple of weeks, I pulled something. So it was kind of sore, and I noticed it was kind of sore. So I was kind of trying to jostle it, and there were people everywhere. And as we got closer and closer to Lakeshore Drive, so it's an express bus. It goes down Michigan, and then once it gets to the end of Michigan, it hops on Lakeshore Drive for about 10 minutes without any stops. So as it gets closer to the end of Michigan, it piles up with more and more people. And I noticed there's a gentleman sitting right by me, right next to me. And he's looking around. He's checking his phone. He's adjusting his bag. And I'm like, oh, he's about to get up. Now, if you've taken transit enough, you read body language enough. At least I can, where you know when someone's going to get up. And if you know that, you can kind of get you can get in there first, because it's all about getting on there first. And that is my mentality, has been my mentality for a long time. Just, I need to sit down, right? I need to sit down, I'm gonna sit. So he was kind of looking around, and there was a couple more stops left, and I'm like, okay, all right. So this is what I'll do. I'm looking around, I'm seeing if anyone, first off, I see if anyone else sees him about to kind of get up, because you can tell sometimes when someone's about to, and then you're like, oh, you closer, and then there's definitely a competitive game to this, right? Or it can be. And so the next stop came, he didn't really move, and I'm like, okay, so what's gonna happen is he's gonna get up, and if he's gonna go to the back door, because we were closer to the back door than the front door, if he's always at the back door, she can't get in here. And then he'll probably want to, but maybe he doesn't see this, so I got a good chance of sitting down. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm just gonna, it was a long day of work, and I was tired, and that's the first thing that hit me. And it's a standard, when you're in that mode, it's a standard transit thing. Get to that seat, or get to that spot, whatever it might be. It becomes very much, jungle warfare. It gets really competitive, and really, it can get kind of messy and not so pleasant. So I'm standing there, I'm waiting. My shoulders sore, and I'm waiting. And then all of a sudden, I decide I'm not going to sit there. I decide that, you know what? I'm healthy enough. I can stand. My shoulder's a bit sore, but I can grab onto this little plastic piece over here that, again, something else you do when you're on transit, trains and buses. You just kind of find a handhold when you can, which is a metaphor in itself. And I'm like, no. I refused. I'm like, I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to sit up. He's going to get up, someone else can sit there. In fact, this whole bus can sit there, as far as I'm concerned. I'm standing the rest of the way because I'm healthy enough. I can stand here. It's not my seat, is what I remember saying. And suddenly, a transformation happened. Something happened to me. First off, I felt a great relief. Like I was carrying a giant, heavy hiking bag, it just fell off my back. And what it was all the expectations, all the things I had loaded into that seat. I'm going to get that seat. I'm going to get that seat before them. And then came all these different thoughts, these very limited, self-serving thoughts. I deserve this. It's my seat. I'm going to sit down. I work really hard. I deserve this seat. It's mine, mine, mine. And as soon as I gave it up and go, no, it's not mine, I'm not going to sit down, I got very light. There were no expectations. There wasn't a need to grab hold of it, to get it, to obtain it, to possess it. And I also realized too that once I had sat down, like I had in the past, there wasn't any residual guilt because of that. I realized it's not my seat. It was never mine to begin with, and I'm not going to sit there. I don't want it. And from this not wanting, it affected the rest of my trip. Once we hopped on Lakeshore Drive, it was a sloggy, slow 15-minute, which would normally take 10 minutes, took about 15 to 20 minutes. The Cubs were playing, so Belmont Avenue, the exit on Belmont was all jammed up, and the bus was just crawling by. And I was lighthearted. I was happy. I was free. For that moment, I was free. And I sort of treated it like I was like, I don't know, the kid came out in me. I was looking out the window. I noticed how beautiful the day was. I noticed the trees. Everyone that came by, I was like looking out the window like, wow, look at that car. And look at those people. Like, what kind of lives do those people have? Look at that car. Oh, they're going to the Cubs game. It wasn't me burying myself into my phone. It wasn't me reading a book. It wasn't me getting away from my surroundings. I looked around. I noticed how many people were listening to like music or a podcast or something. I noticed the people that just did not look like they wanted to be there. No one wants to be in traffic. But I kind of made it a point of smiling more, because I wanted to show that, this is a rebellious act. Look at me. I'm happy in traffic. And what I wanted to put forward, the lesson I learned this week was, how many other things do I want to possess? How many other things do I feel that? And I think we all go through that sometimes several moments of the day, where we need to get something, we need to have something. I need to close that deal. I need to buy that CD. I'm buying CDs now. I need to get that job. I need to get that girl. I need to find that person. I need to get that class. All these things we have to possess and get. And there's so much restriction. There's so much anxiety and expectations. And there's so much riding on this. How much can we let go? How much can I let go in my life? So that's a lesson for the coming week. How much can you let go? Don't let go of everything. Don't shave your head and move to like a different country. But when you're, because so much of our lives is influenced by our environment. Again, I'm on the train yesterday and there's an ad for peanut butter, and man, I really wanted peanut butter. That's how subtle it was. It was a simple, you could just tell they took a butter knife and just a nice swath of like peanut butter, and they just zoomed in on it. And you could see like the grains. It was like, oh, I could just smell it. I almost bought some peanut butter. That's how influential our environment is. Do we want what we want, right? So just take a moment this week and let go of something you usually get, something you usually go after, and maybe it doesn't show the lighter side of you. Maybe it shows a bit of a darker side, like that seat was for me. When I let go of that seat, anyone can sit in that seat, and people did sit in that seat, and that wasn't my seat anymore. Oh, look at that! Someone else sat there. When you let go of something, it made me so much lighter, so much freer. I don't need that, because that's not mine. It made me feel better for not wanting to grasp it. And I think so much of my life is there's so much grasping involved, clutching, holding on to. I need to let go more. And I think that's been part of my journey and will be going forward. So that's a lesson I learned this week. I hope you had a great week. I love making these videos for you guys. And yeah, that's a lesson I learned. So what's something you can let go of this week? Take care. Take care and be safe.